What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We got to talk about May Day protest and how it's affecting our kids in school. Let's get into this.
Of May Day protesters across the country happening today as more and more Democrats are embracing the far left. Organizers nationwide urging you to skip school, skip work, skip shopping, skip all of it. Nearly 500 groups planning more than 750 events across the country. We're keeping a close eye on the biggest rallies expected in New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, Washington, and of course, Minneapolis. I'm Aisha Hasni in for Harris Faulkner today. Organizers are putting their progressive message front, are flat out un-American. So these May Day walkouts and staffing issues are disrupting schools, our kids' educations, especially in blue states and cities like Madison, Wisconsin, like Chicago. Out in North Carolina, more than 20 districts are affected by these protests. One Wisconsin mom says, this is more than just a day off.
I'm in shock, although maybe I shouldn't be considering the history of the Madison Metropolitan School District, but they are turning schools into political staging grounds, and this is where they've crossed the line. They are not just indoctrinating the kids in the classroom, they are encouraging actively for students to leave the classroom and go march in the streets with teachers, with administrators.
The Chicago.
Is that even allowed that kids could march with teachers? What are we doing? I understand probably college, but high school? What's going on? There should be like some different framework. If the teacher wants to do whatever political stuff they're doing, they could do that. But like to do it with kids, I think that's going too far. Like, where are the parents? Where are parents jumping in to say this cannot happen in a district? Those things does not make sense to me. How you could leave school to go protest with teachers. Now, if kids want to go protest, that is fine. They could do whatever. But with teachers and principals, if that's allowed, let me know in the comments. But I don't think that makes any sense.
The teachers union already pushing for a full day off for students. Here is the message that I put out there, quote, "We are not living through ordinary times. His agents are tear gassing our neighborhoods, are talking about Donald Trump. Our students have something to say, and we as educators have a responsibility to speak up and support them in finding their voice, their vision, their agency, and their place in the community." They're talking about your kids. Our senior correspondent, Mike Tobin, is in Chicago waiting for these protests to kick off. Hi, Mike.
And this is where it's going to start, Aisha. You can see some people are showing up already with pop-up tents and some of their pickets that they're going to carry through these demonstrations, ultimately marching into Chicago's Loop. It's a big day for the American left, advocating everything from the Democratic Party to socialism. You got some 600 groups, including communists, with a $2 billion budget that are funding some 3,000.
I'm all about protest. Do whatever you want to. I don't understand how they could bring the kids into this. How are you bringing kids into this? You feel the city is unsafe because of ICE? How are the kids getting into this? These kids nowadays are pretty much dumb because they're behind from COVID years. What are we doing to the school system?
Protest. Now, here in Chicago, the very powerful Chicago Teachers Union had advocated for the day off of school so the students could attend these rallies. The superintendents of schools shut that down, but struck a compromise to provide school buses at the end of the day so the students could attend these rallies.
This is just a move of the political left, and the unions are really a political party. They're a left-wing political party in Chicago and other major cities.
It's absolutely absurd, and it really speaks to the distraction that the teachers union is bringing into classrooms. This really amounts to a state-sponsored protest at the end of the day.
Now, acknowledging that 1 out of 5 CPS 8th graders can read at grade level, and 4th graders, you've got 1 out of 4 that are up to speed across all of the curriculum. The students were in school today, but the curriculum was changed. According to Channel 5, the curriculum includes social justice and transgender rights classes all the way down to kindergarten level. Now, here at Union Park, where it's supposed to get started, we don't really have any crowds started yet, but wait till school gets out and the buses start rolling. Aisha?
Okay, Mike Tobin live for us in.
Don't forget, during the protest in Minnesota, all those kids left school to go protest all over the United States. What is going on? I am all for protesting, but at what cost? This kid's supposed to be the future and they're dumb as hell. America's gonna go down the drain. Something is wrong with the school system. And the left are pushing for more of it. Like, they want to dumb you down worse than they are already.
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume.
A raw and unfiltered farewell video as she leaves the classroom behind after just 3 years. Listen.
A lot of these kids don't know how to read because they have had things read to them, or they can click a button and have something read out loud to them. I just don't think these kids even care. They don't care about making a difference in the world. They don't care about how to have a resume. They don't care how to write a resume. They don't care how to write a cover letter because ChatGPT will just do it for them. And I think that we need to cut off technology from these kids probably until they go to college.
Hannah is a former teacher, and she joins us now. She posted that video. More than 1 million people have seen it, Hannah, probably more by the time we're on this morning. Why did you post that video?
So I taught for 3 years, as I said in my video. I wasn't always a teacher. I actually started my career in digital marketing. So I've been in the digital world for about 5 years now, or since I've graduated. And throughout the 3 years, I've taught digital arts classes and I've taught an English class. And I would say that in all of my teaching experience, technology has posed quite a challenge. And with AI becoming so accessible to children nowadays, especially teaching in an English or Core 4 classroom, it's been especially challenging.
Yeah, I'm all for that too. They're gonna cut off everything from kids. Kids are gonna be kids again. Like when we were growing up, we had none of this stuff. Yes, we played video games, but it was not until we came back from playing outside with our friends, came in, had an hour here and there. These kids are just stuck on everything nowadays. But again, it's up to the parents. And some parents don't have the capability because they have 2 jobs and they worry about something else. And these kids are taking advantage of it. I mean, it's very bad that you have so many kids who don't know how to read. Some people even in college who don't know how to read. I'm telling you, I'm very fearful for the future that we're going to have with those kids being on the brink. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of kids could read too. But the amounts who cannot read, like what are they going to mount up to?
Sure, I'm sure your students loved you. We hate to see someone leave education because of problems within the classroom. Give me some examples of what the students are saying to you.
Well, a lot of students, and I do want to be clear, I taught a lot of very motivated and bright children. And so I don't want this to come off as if this is all the kids' fault. But I do know that a lot of times in my English classroom, I would ask them to write down a short response or just 5 sentences to answer a question. And a lot of times it would be about 2.5 sentences and they would say, well, I can't think of anything else to say, or, well, why do I have to answer in complete sentences? Like, you get the point from what I'm saying in just this little sentence. And then a lot of times I would assign essays, long form essays, and I know how children write, especially when they handwrite me things in the beginning of the school year. And so when a student, how I know how they write, typically would give me a very eloquently and thorough essay on a topic that I know that normally wouldn't come from them, I would ask them, was this really you? And I'd run it through an AI generator. And of course, it would say 100% ChatGPT or AI.
Teachers trying to combat kids with cheating, right? I mean, it's a long thing that's been going on for years. People wrote essays for them back in the day and turn it in. Instead of having people do it, now it's AI, right? But again, I am fearful that if any of those things happen as far as technology going down, it's going to be pretty bad. It's just like reading a map. Most people don't know how to read a paper map anymore. We're so used to the navigation system. But if that ever breaks down, I'm fearful that no one's going to find their way around as far as how life is right now.
She wore a suit, clothes that were. Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore. Bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a. Oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were. Bitch, I don't know that word. I don't even know how to read. I don't know why I do this.
She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary, but somewhat gauche.
All right, now what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like his clothes was nice or something like that.
She wore a. I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say. I don't know what this shit say. I can't read it. Can't read it. Cancel back.
Man, I don't care what you say. This is sad. This is sad. This is the youth, right? This is what America going to be tomorrow. And this kid cannot read, but they're going to dress all lavish and whatnot. I mean, I showed you the videos of all the proms and stuff. Everybody's dressing fancy, doing some crazy stuff. Again, if you have money, do it. But that's kind of sad that the generation of tomorrow that's supposed to be taking over cannot read. Like, these people cannot read. They're supposed to be doctors, nurses, right? The engineers of tomorrow. Like, what is this? What is the school system doing? And to make it worse, bring it full circle, I'm talking about May Day is trying to pull kids out. To what extent?
The economic cost of their calls for no school, no work, no shopping could total somewhere between $2 billion. We have made on this network is that the Chicago Teachers Union, they wanted to shut down the entire day of school. In the meantime, the kids, they're not learning anything right now. I think 43% of students are at grade proficiency in math, Ari, 27% proficient in reading. Why are these people so focused on teaching these kids social justice rather than math and reading and writing?
Answer that question right now. It's all about control. They're trying to control. The dumber you are, the easier it is to control. It's that simple. They need control over people so they could drive their agendas. You cannot be smart. If you are smart, you're going to see through the dumbness of what they're doing. You're going to see through it. So they want you to remain dumb. So when they call you, it's easier to control you, to get you hyped up over nothing. We've seen the videos where the people go pretty much crazy over something simple. Someone's trying to talk to you. This is how you become so ignorant, you can't even have a Discord anymore. They only want passionate people to fight a cause. The dumber you are, the easier it is for you to control.
There are two elements here. The ideological component about the trend of the Democratic Party to the left is one, and that's bad enough. Nothing is worse, though, than political indoctrination in our schools. Schools should have absolutely nothing to do with any political cause, left, right, or center. It is not the purpose of us sending our children to a school. Our students, our children need to be educated in the essentials to get by in life, and that is not a political advocacy position. So this, what I hope happens next is just like in COVID, when there was a grassroots rebellion and parents started to take over school boards, that needs to happen in any one of these places.
Again, parents, everybody need to come back and rise up. The school institution is failing. Republicans need to go back in school. Democrats are doing a horrible job right now. This is unsatisfactory. Man, kids are so dumb nowadays. Like, if you're not scared out there, I don't know. You might have an issue. But I'm very worried right now for those kids who cannot read simple stuff. But they could sure go out and protest. What good is to just protest and chant different rhyming words, but you won't be able to get a job or something to be sustainable?
care. It's not their children. They don't care.
After years of pleading for help.
That fourth grade kid, yeah, when he was in first grade, he got sent home in March, and the school year never started back up. Then he came back as a second grader, but he had to learn on Zoom, like on a crusty Chromebook, blurry screen, trying to hear the teacher. Then he came back as a third grader, possibly in person, but they had masks on the whole year. Every sound was muffled. He couldn't read lips. And now he's a fourth grader that's not reading on grade level. I bring this point up because if you look at that comment section of most of the Stitch videos, you see everybody playing the role of Captain Obvious. Oh, it should start at home. You just read with the kid at home. Just take him to the library. It's free. It's like, have y'all not been paying attention to the world?
I would say this. This is just going back to the COVID days, but it has an effect on what's happening right now. These kids are getting dumber, but I do believe it's the school system. We have to do something about this. Exactly what? I think parents should take back control over all school boards and prohibit anything of that magnitude from happening for kids leaving school to go protest. And probably take their phones away and all electronics. If parents are not doing that right now at their house and your kids are failing, you got to go back into it. My thing is, how deep are we into our kids' life like we used to be back in the days and showing that they're being proficient in different areas? At the end of the day, it have to start at home. Kids are at school way longer than they are at home. So it says a lot that the school system is failing the kids. Anyway, let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.